Today we're going to be making zucchini sticks, one of my favorite things to eat. You might be thinking it's another deep fried food. Well, you'd be wrong. Today we're making zucchini sticks that are baked and they're going to be crispy, delicious, and a wonderful addition to any table where you're inviting guests and family. It's a favorite in my family, and I think it'll quickly become a favorite in yours. So let's get started. Here we have eggs that we're going to add garlic powder. A good amount of garlic powder, anywhere between half tablespoon to a tablespoon, depending on how much you like. The same with the onion powder. Anywhere between half a tablespoon, I think, of onion powder would be great. You want to put a lot of spices. You want it to be very flavorful, and the flavors tend to get lost in a breaded product if you don't put a sufficient amount of it. So if you really want to taste it and let the flavors come out, put anywhere between half a tablespoon to a tablespoon, maybe half a tablespoon of the paprika though. Okay. And about a quarter teaspoon of black pepper. And a teaspoon of salt. Combine that together really well. So I've got one giant zucchini that I bought at the local farm. Cut that in half. Maybe want to use, I don't know, 2 or 3 zucchinis. Cut them into larger pieces, something like this. You can see how large the zucchini that I had by the size of this cut. Here we're going to add our matza meal. I'm using a whole wheat one. You can use a white matza meal. It's totally up to you. It's going to start with about a cup. If you put too much and you don't use it, you generally have to throw away the unused portion of the breading. So put a little less than you think you might need, just so you don't waste it. One dish I've got my matza meal, and one dish I have eggs with spices. In this bowl here, we're going to add potato starch. Also, maybe we're going to start with about half a cup of potato starch. I'm going to use that as a coating for our zucchini sticks. All right. Always try to use a little less than you would need, just for the sake of not wasting a lot of products, a lot of ingredients. Everything's so expensive these days. Shouldn't be wasting food anyways, but try to find techniques and cook in a way where you're reducing waste to no waste. All right, so organize yourself in a way where it makes sense, how the breading, which way the breading is going to go. So here we have our potato starch, our egg mixture, and our matza meal. We're going to add some foil. Now I'm using foil instead of parchment paper, and I'm using foil the shiny side up. Does anybody know why shiny side up? You can leave it in the comments why you think the shiny side up, but I'll tell you, because there's a dull side on the foil and there's a shiny side. The shiny side is reflective, which ups the heat level of the pan, and it bakes and sears almost the product much faster and much better, and your product's going to have a greater browning. So depends what it is that you're making. You'll use either the matte or the shiny side of the foil. Here we're making a breaded zucchini, a breaded product, which most of the time you would deep fry, but we're doing a healthier version of it. We're going to be baking it, and so we want the heat to be intense. Okay, so we're going to start with just a few of these at a time. If you have a large Ziploc bag, you can use a Ziploc bag to coat the zucchini well in potato starch if you don't like to get your hands dirty. Cooking is all about getting your hands dirty, so don't be afraid to do that. But if you're a little squeamish with getting your hands dirty, you can use a Ziploc bag. Okay, so just do a few at a time, don't rush. Try to do it in a way where you're not making a huge mess. If you don't rush, it is possible to bread products without a huge mess. It'll take a little longer, but give yourself plenty of time to get this project done, basically. Okay. Maybe you want to put 3 or 4 zucchini sticks at a time. Whatever you feel most comfortable in doing, that's what you should be doing. Okay, just like so. This already looks awesome. Just the process of it looks awesome. All right. And we're just gonna keep going in this direction until we've done all the zucchini. So here I've got 4 or 5 this time I have. So it depends on the size of your bowl, depending on how quickly you can go. There's lots of leniencies in cooking, but the most important thing is that you're having fun doing it, and you adhere to a few basic techniques, and you cook with as little waste as possible, and make sure everything is super flavorful. Okay, so I can see that I'm running low on breading already, so I'll just keep adding half a cup of breading at a time. Now, it's possible that while you're breading, the breading starts to clump up. So what you want to do is you want to be able to, you can either use fine mesh sifter to sift out the bigger pieces, and so just the more finer crumbs will fall to the bottom. Or if you don't have too much, then you can throw that one out and you can add another half cup of breading. Okay, so just to show you what I mean, got a colander here or a sifter, and just like that. Try not to make a mess everywhere. Working in a commercial kitchen in hotels and restaurants, it's easy to work much faster. You make a mess, there's somebody around to clean up. But when you're at home and you're expecting guests and you've got kids and you've got a busy life, it's more important than ever to try to cook cleanly, try to be more organized, and really organize yourself and schedule the timing of everything. All right, so you can see larger pieces are left, the finer parts came to the bottom. This we're going to throw out. To this we're going to add a little bit more matza meal, and we're going to just have a few more to finish up, and we'll be done. And we're going to put it in the oven in 400 degrees on on middle and top rack. Okay, I just took the zucchini sticks out of the oven, and they turned out just perfect, exactly the way I described them. They were in the oven for about an hour at 400 degrees. You saw the technique, you saw the setup, you saw the minimal ingredients, but it's about just having yourself well organized and clean as you go, and you're gonna have a wonderful time preparing these delicious zucchini crispy sticks. Super healthy, you don't have to deep fry them. Yes, they take longer to prepare at the end, the final product, but it is a healthier product in this way. You can use really you can use any kind of breadcrumbs that you would like. I used whole wheat matza meal. You can use a white matza meal. You can even use crushed up, finely ground, different flavors of chips. You can do a barbecue chips or salt and vinegar chips. Really, it's up to you. Those things are options, and that's what's the wonderful thing is about this dish, that you can create it to your own taste, to your own entertainment needs, and to that of your families. Super flavorful. Thank you for joining me here at MARAT'S Kitchen. I look forward to seeing you again. Subscribe to MARAT'S Kitchen YouTube page, like, share, and turn on your alerts so you're always in the know when a new episode is being uploaded. Thank you for joining me in my kitchen, where my favorite dishes will soon become your family's favorite. Thank you, and see you next time.